Oh my god, that guy's wearing tights. No, I'm joking. Right, so this is the night before the morning of the cut that's going to happen. So my bulk is now coming to an end, and I hate when people do these before and after pictures where they've got bad lighting and they haven't been to the gym or anything. So this is me, just got back from the gym, at the end of my bulk. Hopefully I've got some fairly good lighting here, so I want to give you an idea of what my starting physique is like before I do my cut. And if you're squeamish, look away now because my posing is appalling and embarrassing. But this is it. This is me before I do my cut. Get rid of that. So I'm going to do a cut for roughly probably 8 weeks or so, maybe a little bit less than that. I'm going to decide tomorrow morning, I'll let you know. But I'll weigh myself in the morning and then we're going to go from there. So I wanted to shoot the intro to this video before I head off to work this morning. As you saw, I am weighing in at 88.2 kilograms now at the end of my bulk, which I'm pretty pleased with. So yeah, just about to have my morning shake, which I'll go into details on what's actually in that a little bit later on in the video. But today, I'm just going to go over how you're going to make that transition from a bulk to a cut, and how you can actually work out your macros to make sure that you are actually going to be in a deficit and going to be losing body fat and not get that all wrong and end up not losing any weight at all. So stay tuned, I'm heading off to work now, but I will be detailing all that when I get back. So one other thing I want to mention is that I've had a look back over the videos of me doing my bulk, and I realise it's impossible to follow along what I'm actually doing. You see me weighing myself every now and again, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to try and do a far better job of detailing what I'm doing on my cut, so hopefully you guys can follow along too. So I'm back from work, long day. I'm just going to go through quickly what I eat in a day when I was on my bulk. So first thing would be is I'd have my protein shake, which would be this impact whey protein from My Protein with creatine. And then the magic ingredient that you saw in the shake this morning is this Organifi green juice, which is unbelievable. When I first took it, I didn't think it actually did a lot for me, because I thought I was maybe preventing something rather than fixing something. But what I actually found was I had so much more energy throughout the day, rather than you'd go up in energy and down in energy depending on how much coffee I had. But when I had this, I was drinking far less coffee and I felt like I had energy throughout the day. So I'll put a link in the description for where you can get this. It's not easy to get if you're in the UK, because the shipping over from America, it costs an absolute fortune. But I've managed to get a link from a UK supplier, so go down in the description, and I definitely recommend that you try this out, the Organifi green juice. So after I've had my shake, I would then have some oats. So I would have 150 grams of oats. I'm lazy, so I just mix that with water and put it in the microwave. And then on top of that, I put 50 grams of blueberries and about 20 to 30 grams then of honey. So that's breakfast done out of the way. Meal number 2 then would be a full packet of white basmati rice. There's 250 grams in here. And then I would have 200 grams of skinless chicken breast. What I tend to do is put some low calorie dressing on there, so it's so low calorie that it's not even worth counting, but makes it so much easier to eat. That's meal 2. Meal 3 would then be another packet of rice, and I don't have it here with me because I've eaten it all, but I would then have some beef mince, and I think it's 15% fat beef mince, and yeah, I have 200 grams of that. 3 meals down, I've also got fruit that I'll be having throughout the day. I don't have it at any particular time, just as and when I fancy it, just to get an extra few hundred calories in when I'm on a bulk, to get the fruit in, and obviously it's good for you as well. Around that sort of time, I would then be looking to go to the gym, and after the gym I would then have another protein shake with some creatine. I only ever used to have one protein shake, but I found it was far cheaper to have an extra protein shake in a day rather than to buy and consume more meat. So that's the reason why I have 2 protein shakes, it just worked out to be so much cheaper. Then I move on to my final meal of the day, which is a very weird meal, but if you haven't had it yet, you must try it, which is 5 eggs scrambled, and then on top of that, I will put on peanut butter, 50 grams of peanut butter. Crunchy peanut butter as well, I'm not an animal, God. Oh, I forgot actually that before I would go to the gym, when I'm bulking, I would have a bowl of cereal, just for energy and again, just for an extra few 100 calories as well to get it up. So I'll put it on the screen probably somewhere, or if not, I'll put it in the description of the macros for my day. It's looking at around 3,500 calories and about 190 grams of protein. Carbs and fats, I don't know exactly what that's going to be. I'll work it out and put it on the screen or in the description as I said. But I don't really track and make sure I have a certain amount of carbs and fats. My priorities are calories and protein, and then carbs and fats can just sort themselves out. But what I'm going to be doing now, as you know, is I'm going to be going on to a cut from a bulk. And as I said in my previous video, you don't want to be going and doing it completely drastic. You don't want to be going from a stupid amount of calories right down to a low amount of calories, because it's going to be a shock for your body. It's going to be very, very difficult to stick to. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to take small pieces out of my current food that I'm consuming in the day and slowly get myself down to a point. But I'm obviously going to go into a deficit straight away, but not an extreme deficit. So first thing is I'm going to be taking out my cereal, so I won't be having that, and that is, again, I can't remember exactly without looking up, but it's a few hundred calories that I'm getting rid of immediately. Then what else I'm going to do is I'm going to go and reduce my the amount of oats that I'm having. So I'm going to be taking this down to 100 grams as opposed to 150. And notice that I'm not taking any protein away. Protein I want to keep consistent, whether I'm on a cut or whether I'm on a bulk. It's always important to keep your protein high. And the best way to work out how much protein you should have is roughly a pound of body weight equals 1 gram of protein. So for me it works out to be about 190 grams of protein. So yes, I'll take 50 grams of that out. I'll probably have a little bit less honey as well. And I will probably take a piece of fruit out just because it's easier for me to do, to get rid of a piece of fruit. So immediately I've already taken out a few hundred calories, so I'm probably down to about maintenance now. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to substitute a pack of rice with some salad as well. So in my second or third meal, instead of having a full pack of rice, it's just going to be some salad with it. So I've reduced the amount of food I'm consuming down, but I've kept hold of the protein. And what I'm going to do is when I find it difficult to stick to this when I'm hungry, I've done it on a previous video, and in fact I'll put a link to the other video on how to stay full when you're doing a cut, or I think it's called how to not be hungry or something when trying to get shredded or something like that. But I'll put the link up somewhere at the top for you to go onto that. But I can just put loads of veg in here, more salad, things that are going to be little to no calories but high in volume. So therefore I can stay feeling full, but I won't be really adding any calories in. What I can then do from this point here as well, if I want to lose fat more quickly, or if I want to just lose more fat in general, I can again take a few bits out. Maybe I'll have one less egg, or maybe I have a bit, or no honey at all, so I can get rid of that. I can have less rice and replace rice with more salad. So I've still got room to manoeuvre, and as I say, I haven't gone from a ridiculous amount of calories right down to a very, very low amount of calories. I'm going to slowly take bits out week on week, so not day by day, but week on week, to a point where I'm then happy and more comfortable on those amount of calories. So yeah, what I'm going to then talk about in a second is how you can work out your calories, because I know my calories, what my maintenance is, and how much calories I need to have to be in a bulk, and then how much I need to have to be in a cut. So I'm going to explain in a second how you can work out how to do that for yourself. So hopefully that is a lot easier for you to follow than when I did my bulk. Apologies that it wasn't very easy to follow along, and I only realised once I started watching the videos back. But you get the idea in that I'm just going to slowly take small amounts of food away and probably replace it with lower calorie versions to a point where I'm in a deficit and that I'm happy consuming that amount of food. There are obviously going to be times where I am going to be hungry. That's just part and parcel of going into a cut. You know, there are going to be times where I'm going to be hungry, and as I say, there's a video that I will put a link somewhere up here for you to go and check out, which I cover a few tips and techniques on how you can overcome the feeling of hunger when you're in a calorie deficit. So the title of the video and the logical question is, how do you work out your calories? So a very, very, very vague and quick way to do this is to times your body weight in kilograms by 25. Now that's going to give you your BMR, your base metabolic rate. So it's going to give you a very rough idea on what your daily maintenance calorie levels should be. Now obviously once you consider what your occupation is, so whether you're a builder, you're going to be needing more calories than as opposed to someone who is an office worker. And there is a far more detailed way of being able to work out what your maintenance calorie levels are, but this is only going to be a short video. So this is just going to give you a very good idea on what your maintenance calorie levels are. Now, you need to keep in mind that it isn't an exact science. So you can work out and do all the maths and stuff you want, but in reality, you need to just play around with it. So you need to kind of work out for yourself, okay, if I'm consuming this amount of calories and you're weighing yourself, work out, am I putting on weight, am I losing weight? And it's going to be a bit of trial and error to work out exactly what calories work for you. Some people have got unbelievable metabolisms and they can consume thousands of calories in a day and not seem to put on any weight. So you need to kind of play around with it and work out what is going to be the right amount of calories for you. But if you times your body weight in kilograms by 25, that's going to give you a good idea as a starting point. Now the only other thing that I believe you need to track is the amount of protein. So it's 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So as I said, for me, it's roughly 190 grams of protein a day. Now, once you're tracking your calories and tracking your protein and hitting your daily targets, then for me, you can stop there, that's good enough. Fats and carbs, yes, obviously they're essential to having your diet, but people react differently to carbs and fats, and some people react better to one than another. So again, a bit of trial and error, and just give yourself time to work out what's best for you. Try a high fat day, try a high carb day. Actually, don't try it for a day, try it for like a week, and then see how your body reacts to it. You know, you may feel like you've got more energy if you're having more fat than carbs, and so really I would concentrate on tracking your calories and your protein, and you will get great results, I assure you, and let the fats and carbs just do their thing and be there to make sure you hit your calorie levels. Now I hope this has been very useful. It's actually been quite an informative video, I think, and I don't do many of those. So if it has been useful, you know what to do. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And I hope that all this information is getting you on track at the start of the year so that you can have the physique of your dreams by December. Hit the subscribe button, as I said, and I'll see you in the next one.